Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Kalen's Lens. I am so incredibly excited for today's episode because today I'm discussing the 8 things that I have learned at 19 that have changed the way I live my life. We're taking a brief pause on our guest episodes, and today it's a solo episode with just me, and we are deep diving into the things that I have learned throughout this entire year that have allowed my mindset, my goals, but also my work ethic to just skyrocket. I'm digging deep and I'm telling you the things that I have uncovered that have allowed me to achieve everything and more that I have wanted to achieve this year and excel in everything else. Those of you that are watching that haven't yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button or follow button on whatever platform you're listening to. It would mean the absolute world. Now, let's just get straight into the 8 lessons. Lesson number 1 is the power of waking up early. I think a lot of people hear, yes, it's really good for the science and it's good for the mind and everything to just wake up early. But until you actually begin to wake up early, you do not realize the difference it actually makes. I have always very much been the type of person to wake up at 5. Even doing my GCSEs and A levels, I was always up at 5, getting ready for the day. I was never doing anything productive with my time. I would genuinely typically watch an EastEnders episode. But it wasn't until I actually started filling my time then with less TV and more actionable steps that are going to allow me to become a better person that I realised this true value of waking up early, waking up before the entire world wakes up. And the thing is I avoid my phone. As soon as I get out of bed, I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 myself out of there. My alarm goes off and I'm out. I'm straight into my gym clothes. And I don't even look at my phone. I don't even check the notifications. I don't even check social media. I don't. And I haven't done it this entire year. I really do just focus in on me. Focus in on what I want to do and what I want to be as an individual. Who I want to be, so to speak. I use that routine and that has gotten me to the gym every single day. Because I get into my gym clothes, I get my gym shoes on and I'm straight into that kitchen. And I get my day moving. I get it moving. Because why would I want to be stuck in bed, bed rotting, and doing what every other person is doing when I could be doing something different? Something more with my time that's going to add value. Me, I get into that kitchen and I make my breakfast, and it is such a carb breakfast to begin with. Because carbs equals energy, and I'm going to need energy at 4:30 in the morning. I really am. I don't drink coffees, I hardly ever have caffeine because I've cut down on my Pepsi Max intake. And I really just focus on healthier carbs, having bananas, having apples, and really just ensuring that I embrace my breakfast. Not on social media, not on YouTube, not on anything. Just me and my food. And don't get me wrong, I do have to have something ultra processed. I can't not. And that thing is bread. I'm sorry, it sounds a bit like, oh, well, you could get sourdough, etc. I simply just don't know where I can get it from around here where I'm living. So, me, I just get a cheap loaf of bread and I have that with unsalted butter because that is not processed. It is literally just milk. And by me making these changes, honestly, my lifestyle has accelerated. I have way more energy in the morning. My pre workout breakfast is simple, but it also allows me to get into the gym and allows me to put in a good workout before my 9 a.m.s. I wouldn't be as happy and as joyful as I am if I didn't do the workout. I've noticed the days where I skip a workout day and my mood is honestly awful. It genuinely is. I'm like the worst person to be around. People are like, Kalen, get away from me, you're giving this negative energy. And I'm like, it's because I haven't done my workout. It sets me up for the day and it'll set you up too. So just wake up, even if it's an hour earlier than you usually do. Wake up early, get into the gym and lift some weights or do some cardio, do anything. But waking up early and not going on your phone, which is key, creates this generational path to excellence because you begin to invest within yourself. You begin to take care of your body and you begin to ensure that you start the day feeling more accomplished, feeling healthier, and feeling fitter too. And that brings me on to lesson number 2, getting a morning workout in. Morning workouts are when I am the most focused and most productive. I don't want to be doing my workout at about 5, 6 p.m. after uni and be sluggish and be unattainable and be just tired and hungry and starving. I don't want that. So for me, I've realised that doing a morning workout is significantly better because I am prioritising my health, I'm burning off calories, but I'm also making sure to be fully focused. I go to the gym every single day that I can, and I'm not lifting weights every day. That is a huge point I want to get across. I don't lift weights absolutely every single day. I'm about 5 days a week I will be lifting them. 5 to 6 at a push if I can. But that off day is purely just for cardio, purely just for rest on my muscles. But the gym isn't just for the physical side, it's the mental side too. It makes me more focused, it offers clarity, but also a lot of my best ideas and my goals and my future plans all come from the gym. I really do believe that I can focus so much better now that I go to the gym. I'm less on my phone, I'm more in the zone, and I really start embracing everything around me. And that all started by taking care of myself. Right back to the practices from lesson 1 in waking up early and translating that into how I am in the gym. Another part of that is me being alone. I do not interact with a single soul in the gym. Not one. And some might be like, well, that's a bit rude. That's a bit toxic. That's a bit awful. You're like the worst person to be around. Yeah, I am. I am, and I will stand by that in that time. Because the gym is a sacred place for me. It's a place where I can be with my thoughts, be with myself, and look the absolute worst. I haven't done my hair in the morning, I haven't done my skin, and I haven't showered from the night before. I shower in the morning, I shower at night. Let me make that clear. But I haven't showered. I haven't gotten ready. I am just straight out of bed into the kitchen, into the gym. That is my morning routine. That is it. I don't want to be interacting with someone when I don't look my best, when I haven't groomed, when my hair's an absolute state. And I know you might be saying, Kalen, well, it looks a bit of a state now. On a side point, it is currently being grown out because I'm eventually going to do something with it, which I know what I'm going to do. It's going to come to it. But it really allows me to just delve into me and I can lift the weights that I want to lift. I can do the workout that I want to do. And everything starts happening. I'm starting my day off feeling more productive. I have that raunch of energy that will get me through to lunchtime. And alongside that, I still get my protein. Because after that workout, I keep the part 2 of my breakfast simple. I have 3 eggs. 3 eggs on their own. Just one fat source of protein. And I have that. Typically, it's either 3 large or 2 large and 1 medium egg for anyone that wants to get technical. But that is my protein to start my day. That enriches me, that gives me energy after the workout, and allows me to move forward into my morning routine. And if I didn't take those steps, I'd feel sluggish, I'd feel de-energized, and I just simply wouldn't have the energy to do so many different things. But that comes to step number 3. It's all about reducing your screen time. I used to be someone that was on my phone about 6 to 8 hours a day, non-stop. It was a joke. I'd be on my phone straight away, waking up, going on to Snapchat, sending streaks, sending snapbacks, doing all that. I'd be then scrolling through Instagram and doom scrolling for about an hour before I even got out of bed. Or I'd be watching an episode of a soap like EastEnders or a TV show. Or I'd be playing and reading the news, which isn't an issue, but it's the fact I was doing that straight as I got up to bed. And in that time, I've lost so much time. I've wasted an hour of my day already, and I'm on my phone, doing absolutely nothing productive. Which is why I don't go on my phone when I start the morning, which is why I've deleted Snapchat, but also, I now have the ability to do more with my day. I make sure to set my phone to do not disturb, and there's never really a time when it's not on do not disturb. But there are exceptions to this, and I think everyone has to have some exceptions in life. 5 people who message me on iMessage, their messages come through. That is it. My mum, my dad, my brother, and my closest friends. Their messages are the only ones that come through if they message me on iMessage. That is it. Everyone else is in do not disturb. I I simply do not operate in any other way. If you call me, great. Your calls are going to come through and I will pick up. But apart from that, no. I will answer you when I can answer you. Because what I noticed is that I would receive a notification and I would be straight answering. And I'd answer and I'd answer and I'd answer. And my time was just going and going and going. I'd see a notification from a website or an app and I had to press on it straight away. And time would just go, go, go. I simply did not have the capabilities to do anything else in my day because my phone became everything when it shouldn't have been. It wasn't until I made the strategic decision to create activational summaries. And why I call these activational is because you have to activate it yourself. Your phone's not doing it for you, especially an iPhone. I have an iPhone. I don't know if Android phones do them whatsoever, but I create these summaries instead of having the constant alerts. They happen between 3 times in the day. At 8 a.m, just when I'm typically on the tube, 12 p.m, just about when I'm having my lunch, and 6 p.m, just after I've had my dinner and I'm typically on a walk. If not, I'm doing something else because I've hit my goals for the day, my 10k step goal. These actionable steps of do not disturb and having an actionable summary prevent me from constantly picking up my phone, and it allows me to just stay solely focused on the task at hand. I do not know what I would be doing half the time. I do not. I don't even remember it. And by the point of midday, I've noticed I've just literally wasted half a day. That time and my time is valuable. And so if you do not reduce your screen time, you will not be as productive as you can be. And that productivity will translate into your work ethic and every other area of your life. I don't need to be perfect in every area, but what I do know is I have to be excellent. I strive for excellence. Excellence in every single task that I complete. Now, if I'm on my phone and I'm doom scrolling, I can't do that. I don't do that. I don't be excellent. I don't put 100% effort in. And that really irks me. I have no idea why. It just does. So taking those 2 steps that have allowed me to reduce my screen time from 8 hours to about 2 to 3 a day is massive. But that doesn't mean that my screen time is completely reduced. Because at uni, yes, a lot of my screen time is spent on my computer. But I'm saying this from the point of my phone, where I don't use it for uni work. I don't. Yes, I have certain apps on there, like my emails, but my uni work is solely just on my Mac or my iPad. My phone is my phone, and I make those distinctions very clear. And that translates into lesson number 4. It translates into this lesson because it's all focused upon uni and why I make this lesson a lesson. But we're just going to take a brief pause before we enter this lesson. And I want to just go over the 3 before. So lesson 1, wake up early. If you're going to do anything, make sure to do this. Because not only do I say it, scientists say it too. There is a power behind waking up early before absolutely everyone else does. Lesson 2, getting a morning workout in. Now, if it's fine if you're not a morning person and you prefer and you do a better workout in the evening and that works for you, that's fine. But I know it didn't work for me. So me getting a workout in the morning allows me to be more focused for the day, more energized, and I feel more productive. And lesson number 3, reducing the screen time. Spending 8 hours a day was awful. That's like a full shift pretty much at work. By me cutting that down significantly to the times that I most need to the times that are most important for me, and by making these activational summaries, but also having my phone on Do Not Disturb, has dramatically shifted the energy. I'm fully focused in on a task. I don't get distracted as often, and I fully immerse all my energy and time into that. And I make sure to do it in Pomodoro technique. So I give myself that flexibility, but I make sure that the priority is the task. And this brings me into lesson number 4, which is something slightly different, but something I think is valuable. And that's the value of meal prepping. Meal prepping not only saves you time, but it also saves you so much money during the week. I cannot remember the last time that I had actually went out and brought a meal for lunch. I don't remember it. I think the last time I ever had a meal deal was about a year ago. It's crazy because every Sunday now I prep 4 dinners in a row, which is typically my Monday to Thursday dinners. They're the times I'm mostly busy at uni and mostly never at home in the evening on a Friday because I'm mostly here on a Friday afternoon. But also, I meal prep all my lunches for that week, Monday to Friday included. Because I often eat lunch around the same time, about 12ish, and that's what works for me and that's fine. But it also helps me avoid eating out unnecessarily. And that the only times I then do that is if I'm with friends or with family. Because me sticking to this rule of avoiding spending money and wasting money and being more frugal with the money that I spend ensures that I can invest myself into other areas, whether that be a new item of clothing, whether that be an activity or going and doing something with friends or going to a restaurant for a meal. Imagine the amount I would be spending if I didn't do that. That's like £3 to £4 every single day. That's £12 a week. By me meal prepping, I am probably spending on average about £2 to £5 a week on my wraps. That is it. That is an average of my lunches, and that's giving me 5 meals. That's £1 a meal. That's an absolute bargain if you asked me. But what I'm doing is I'm getting my protein. I'm getting at least 100 grams of chicken. I am getting, which I think calculates to about 30 to 40 grams of protein. I'm getting my carbs. I'm getting my spice, so it's not a bit dead, but I'm also getting my fruits, my oranges, my grapes, my cucumbers as well. Now, by me taking these steps, I significantly save time, so I haven't got to walk to the shops. I haven't got to then serve and find and choose and make the decision and waste that energy of decision making on a meal when I can just solely focus on what I want. And I can solely focus on being in the moment and completing every task. And yeah, having food ready simply just reduces decision fatigue during busy days. Because I come home and I know I've got a meal ready. I know I can just put it into the microwave, not in the plastic containers, for the love of God, guys, microplastics for heaven's sake. But I can then make sure that I'm being nourished and I'm not skipping meals as well. I make sure I'm making sure that my nutrients are all in and that my body is taken care of. Because the more you take care of your body, the more your life changes for you. It's as simple as that. And I couldn't think of it anything else differently. I meal prep not only to save me money, but also to save me time. Because time is money. And we all have a finite amount of time on this earth. And I want to be using my time efficiently. And the funny thing is it takes me about an hour and a half a week to do my meal preps. An hour and a half to do those lunches and those 4 dinners. That is it. Imagine the amount of time I would be wasting if I was to having to go to a shop to go buy my dinners, go to a shop to buy my meals, and each day having to make my dinner and scramble and think about, oh my God, I don't know what I want to eat. Now, I take that stress away because I plan what I'm going to have before I go to do a food shop. I get the food items ready to meal prep and I do it. And I make sure it's a plan and I stick with it. And this brings me on to lesson 5. Make sure to plan everything. For me, I am such a big planner. I plan absolutely everything in my life, whether that be whenever I'm going to bed, when I'm going to have dinner, when I'm going to have lunch, what tasks I'm going to do in between specific points in my day, when I'm at work, when I'm even on the tube. I plan absolutely everything. Because not only does it mean I don't forget about doing things with friends and forgetting, oh my God, I was going to hang out with this friend and I completely forgot. No, no, no. I keep my life structured and organized because I want to make sure that I'm there for all the people in my life, but I'm also doing the things for me. I'm such a visual person when it comes to planning. Drawing and all that, I am like the worst person at it. I cannot draw to save my life. Yes, I know I'm being a bit negative, but it's been a thing. I could never draw in year 7. It's okay. I could not do it. And I accept that and I'm fine with that. But seeing a visual calendar with all different colours that associate to different things, like my Google Calendar does, it actually turns me on. It genuinely does. It makes me feel like, oh my God, you actually got your life together and you're going to be productive today because you know you're going to stick with it. I know that I've scheduled in time to go to bed, so I'm going to go to bed then. I know it sounds a bit robotic, and I get that. But I also then give myself 3 times in the week for spontaneity. To be like, okay, oh, I'm a bit bored. I'm going to just nip to Oxford Street or Regent Street or Canary Wharf and I'm going to do whatever I want and live like a free spirit. I still give myself those times. But the other times, I am very strict with how I use it. Because I make sure that everything is planned in. But you might be like, well, how do you do this? Well, every single Sunday, I spend about 15 to 30 minutes planning the next week. I plan each time I'm going to be on the tube, or each time I'm in a lesson or a lecture, and what I'm actually going to be doing in between in my free periods. I fill them with meal prep time or catching up with friends. I even plan which podcasts I'm listening to because I love podcasts. I love growing and I love learning, and they are one of the most useful tools for me, which is part of the reason why I started Kalen's Lens to begin with. And so, me taking those actionable steps allows me to do the things that I love, allows me to connect with friends, speak with family, and engage with everyone around me, but also stay on top of my uni work and making sure that I never fall behind. I've never missed a deadline. I'm never ever late. Touch wood. I keep this life organized because it's valuable and I never want to be missing a step. And in turn, I even plan my evening routines. And that comes to lesson number 6. Having an evening routine is essential. It is just as important to have a good evening routine as it is a morning routine. This habit, don't get me wrong, has probably been the hardest to create, but also to maintain. Because there are times where I'm feeling a bit down and then I do go on a little bit of a doom scroll for about 10 minutes. Don't get me wrong, I will never doom scroll for over an hour. But there are those times where it does happen. And it is the hardest for me to keep to. But I do so well at present. My routine is typically this. I'll typically shower at about 8 o'clock at night. I'll then come out. I will get ready for bed. I will put on my red light mask. I'll do my red light. I'll do my skincare. I will then, and it will usually be about 8:30 by then, is check my phone. Anything last super important from close family or anything going on that is requiring my urgent attention. And that's it. My phone goes to my bedside table and I don't look at it. I don't need to look at it. I then change my lighting, turn it off from the main light to 2 smaller lights. I do my skincare, finishing it off with some niacinamide acid, hyaluronic acid, and moisturizer. I get into bed and I read. I read because I love to read. I love reading and law and I love that, but I love business and motivational and mindset books too. The one I'm currently reading is The Tools, and I've just gone through chapter one, and I am enjoying that so much. And I can't wait to I haven't even started the five tools yet that are in the book. And I just love doing those things. So, for anyone that realizes that they have a great morning routine, but they're also wondering why they might feel a little bit of fatigue, wind down is also essential. Turning off the light from your phone 30 minutes before is key. You don't want those blue light rays. I could not think of anything worse. I love having my blue light glasses on me at any point, just in case my eyes begin to become tired from it. Because it's a time as well to protect yourself. You have to protect that energy within you. And that is the perfect way to do it because you relax your body, you relax your mind, and you also gives you the ability to just think about your day and how you want to go forward in your life. It's a reflection time. I reflect on three things: what went well, what went bad, what can be done better. And I have those three things going on in my mind during that time, in a time where it's absolutely quiet. No music, no sounds, nothing whatsoever. If I didn't create this evening routine, my life just wouldn't be as settled. I say settled as like a relaxing side. My life certainly isn't settled. I'm up and down doing so many different things that it's far from settled. But I feel settled at night. I feel calm. I feel enriched. Yes, there are evenings where I'm absolutely tired and I just literally put my red light mask on, finish it, and I fall genuinely to sleep because I am so exhausted. But that's okay because it doesn't need to be regimented. It just has to be a routine, something that you keep to about 80% of the time. There are times where you can't, and that's okay. Accepting that is okay. And that kind of brings me on to acceptance. Acceptance to who you are, acceptance to who you want to be. And that is the essence of lesson seven. Because for me, one thing that I want to be is someone who makes time for my friends. And so, lesson seven, making time for friends. During first year, I did not do a single thing with anyone. I spent most of my first year completely alone. I didn't know anyone. I didn't like anyone to begin with because I just was an introvert. I just was such an introvert. I was never speaking to anyone. I thought I was going through this really dark phase in my life. And I speak about it in season one about this loneliness paradox that I went through. I just didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I wanted to be. I didn't know anything about my sexuality. I didn't know where I was in life, whether I was still passionate about my degree, even though it just started. And everything fell apart. I lost my identity. I lost who I was. And it took time to come out of that. I had to go to the deepest, darkest place to finally realize who I was as an individual. And it wasn't until I did that that things began to change. And that in second year, I made it a priority to build real friendships. I've set a goal this year in 2026 to spend time with friends at least once a week. That can include doing an activity together, going for a walk, or going for a meal, or just simply spending time outside of uni together. Don't get me wrong, it is harder to achieve some of these things every week. It is because lives get so busy. But most weeks I achieve it. And why? It's because I've noticed the difference on me. Me taking these steps. Friendships have boosted my morale. I am happier, I'm more content, and I'm at peace. But it's created a support system. It's built in me people that I can go to, people that I can trust, and people that are always going to be there for me. These are things that I never knew before. As crazy as it sounds, I've never really had a best friend until I reached the age of 16. I didn't know what it meant to be a true friend until that point. And so, the lessons I have gotten from that point on to now have changed everything. These moments make me feel grateful, make me more connected, but also make me grounded. They make me laugh and they make me excited. And that is all what life is about, is feeling happy, feeling content, and being you. And so I just want to recap the 7 lessons before we get into the final one. Lesson number 1, please just wake up early. Even if it's 15 minutes, even if it's half an hour, just do it and you will see the difference. I am telling you, it will be life changing. Lesson 2, get a morning workout in. They are the times where I feel the most productive. Getting it in changes everything. Lesson 3, reduce your screen time. I could not say this enough. Get that phone out of your hand. Except if you're listening to this episode, of course. But get it out. Get it out of sight, out of mind when you're focusing on something important. You doing that, you become solely in on that goal. And that is where you want to be. Lesson 4, meal prep. I think it's essential to life. Being able to meal prep, being able to plan your meals and do the things that you want to do. If you didn't do these things, you would have significantly less time and less money. Let's face it. Unless you've got enough money that you don't have to worry, or mummy and daddy might be paying for your lifestyle, then you know what, do what you want to do. But if they're not, I highly recommend meal prepping. Meal prep for a lot of meals in the week. Yes, you may get bored and it may get repetitive, and that's fine. Switch it up week to week. But being able to make sure that you making the time to have nutrients in your body, making sure to eat clean food and not ultra processed shite is everything. Lesson 5, plan everything. I don't just mean plan when you're going to see your friends or plan when you're next going to go on holiday or planning a couple of months in advance. I mean planning each day. Planning it down to the T by the hour what you're doing. Yes, giving yourself flexibility to go to the toilet. Yes, giving yourself flexibility to go on your phone. But giving that time away and making sure that you know what you're doing and you need to be doing reduces the ability for you to just be like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. I'm so confused. Because you've already planned it. You already know what you're going to do. It's in your mind. Everything that is there. And it releases the stress because it's out of you. You're not worried about completing something because you've planned it in to complete. I plan in literally like when I'm going to do a food shop, when I'm going to clean my bathroom. It's as simple as that. Lesson number 6, having an evening routine. I speak about this as highly as I do about a morning routine. If you don't have an evening routine, create one. Create something that is going to be empowering to you. Create something that is going to have substance, that you're going to want to do and that you enjoy doing. I couldn't think of anything like worse if I didn't have an evening routine because I just feel racing up and down like I'm bored, I don't know what I want to do. But because I have this routine, I feel at ease. My body feels a lot more relaxed and I feel calm. I genuinely do. And that brings me on to lesson 7, making time for friends. Make sure to take time for friends, for family, for the people that are around you. Because you soon realize that as soon as you get into your 20s, everyone begins to separate. I know for me, some of my closest are going all the way back home. I am mortified. I'm scared. Like, oh my God. Which is why I want to make sure to make time for these friendships because I love these people so much. I adore them. Which is also why now, as well, especially this year, when I'm with my family, I want to just focus on them. I don't want to be doing other tasks because I've hardly seen them this year. I hardly have. I haven't seen them this year, to be honest. Thinking about it, this weekend's going to be the first time I see my family. And that is the essence of lesson 8, investing in yourself. Everything begins automatically with the decision to just start with yourself. Start with who you are and what you want to be. Start by identifying the things that are draining your energy instead of adding to it. These changes don't have to be big. Small habits make a huge difference, and I want you to remember that. By making the decisions to identify whatever's draining you, whatever isn't adding value, you begin to see the filtering happening. You begin to see people leaving. I've noticed so many friends drop off the moment I began to invest within who I was, the moment I began to accept who I was as an individual, the moment I began to accept my sexuality, to the moment I began to accept my power in my planet, in my aura, in my mindset, into everything as to who I am. The moment I began to stop worrying about what people would think of me if I didn't drink, or people would think of me if I didn't like to go clubbing and partying, that changes. Small changes that you could make are going to lead to major differences in your life. You could be like, you know what, I don't want to drink this month, so I'm not going to drink. And notice the change. See the differences in your mood. Say to yourself, you know what, I want to go to the gym at least twice a week this week and build it up. Build it up, and you will see yourself blossom. You will see the benefits from it. Improve your diet. Switch out ultra processed foods for less processed to clean foods. I eat a lot of fruits, and I'm not ashamed of it. I love fruit. Even so, go to bed an hour earlier. Wake up an hour earlier. These small habits compound over time. They stack together and they shape your lifestyle, but also your mindset too. These habits align with you. They align with your goals, they align with your dreams. And that is the essence of everything. You don't need a massive overhaul to improve your life, because the moment that you begin to invest within yourself, changes begin to happen. And these changes are often the ones that start with the smallest decision, and they naturally begin to stack over time. They're the 8 lessons that I've learned since turning 19. Lesson 1, wake up early. Lesson 2, get a morning workout. Lesson 3, reduce your screen time. Lesson number 4, the value to meal prep. Lesson 5, plan everything. Lesson 6, master an evening routine. Lesson 7, make time for friendships and family. Lesson 8, begin to invest within yourself. Thank you for listening to this episode of Kalen's Lens. I really hope you enjoyed it. And make sure to check out my previous episodes of the pod. This series has been incredible, and I cannot wait for the next few guests that are going to be joining me on Kalen's Lens. Before, go check out some of the others. There's Abby, there's Yasmin, there's Ruben, there's Eva, there's Amelia. I cannot wait for you guys to see what we have in store on Kalen's Lens, so be sure to check it out soon.